Hi, everyone. It's my great pleasure to have this interview today with these two, Edwina Gray and Shea Stewart. My name's Emma. I'm a biodynamic craniosacral practitioner for horses and humans. And I consider both of these guys have my mentors, my close friends, and we've managed to wrangle time zones to make this happen. So I'm super grateful to you both for showing up. And it's going to be just a open conversation. So I
Right.
thought we'd start by you guys introducing yourself, whoever would like to go first.
I don't mind. Shay, do you want me to? Do
Um,
you want to?
I'll
Leave me
go.
to. Go for it.
Hi, my name is Shay. I never know what to say. Um, I'm I'm a biodynamic craniosacral practitioner for horses and humans, and I live in Texas, and I've been receiving craniosacral since 1988. I was 21. I think 21, 22, around there. And I got into uh, doing it on horses back in 2006. I had a training barn in California, and I just fell in love with the work. I'd learned a bunch of other um, modalities for body work, and this really resonated with me. And then when I left California and moved to Texas in 2011, around there, 10, 11, I started taking human classes and that focused on biodynamic. And that was, I took, that was probably about a year and a half, 2 years of classes. And it completely changed how I worked. And yeah, so I've been doing that since then. I teach some when the opportunity comes available and everything aligns right, I'll put something together. And otherwise I'm out running around doing cranial on horses and their owners sometimes too.
Love it. Fantastic.
Nice
Thank you,
one.
Shay.
My turn.
Your turn. Go for it.
Uh, well, first of all, I want to say thank you, Emma, for setting this up. This is very cool. It's a great opportunity. So thanks for that. Um, so me, gosh, I started training because of a horse. Actually, I started training as a craniosacral therapist because of a horse. Because we had a horse that had a really nasty physical accident, and when she was healed physically, she certainly wasn't the same mentally and emotionally. And didn't really know what to do. And I was chatting with somebody, and somebody overheard that conversation and said to me, I think that, some craniosacral therapy would be good for your horse. And she recommended a practitioner who came along. And within 2 sessions, that horse was completely back to normal. And I was like, what is this witchcraft? Because I had no idea about it. But I went on an intro weekend at the Craniosacral Therapy Educational Trust and loved it. And so I did my training, my human training there, and then got invited back to join the tutor team, which was a huge privilege. Did that for 7 years, part of the tutor team there, became the course coordinator and really loved that time working there for doing that. And in that time, Pernell Meredith, who's another practitioner, and I set up an equine postgrad training here in the UK. For a long time, it was the only biodynamic equine cranial training in the UK. So we ran that for about 6 or 7 years as well. And then I realized that really I'm a better practitioner than I am a teacher. I much prefer being a practitioner than a teacher. So all along during that time, I was still running a private practice here, human and horse. And there came a point where I thought, teaching is not really for me. It's, at the end of the day, I just love getting out there and doing the work rather than listening to the sound of my own voice. So that's what I do now. That's my day job. And I think, I'm passionate about the work for horses. I think that it speaks to everything that there is about the horses, about themselves, their sensitivity and their need to be met very safely in a non-verbal capacity for exactly who they are in those moments. And yeah, that's why I do what I do.
Love it. Thank you both. I'm thinking there's so many ways I could take off down here, but I'm going to have just some general questions. I think the first one I wanted to just take you guys back because I know before you do the work that you do now, you probably had quite different jobs.
Yeah.
And I'm always fascinated, you can sort of think, you were doing that and now you're doing this. What happened? And sometimes it's receiving a craniosacral session, or sometimes, like you said, it's having a horse. I don't even know myself how I got into it, except that I was looking to get out of horse racing. I was looking at a bodywork modality, and then I happened to go to this horse expo, and there was someone talking about it, which made sense. But and it's like a calling almost, isn't it? I think
Sure.
you kind of started following these threads. So, Shay, tell me like the weirdest job you've ever done, and what were you doing before you got into this? I know you were training horses, but there'll be people listening to this who haven't heard both of your stories. So, I kind of want to make it a really fun interview.
Well, um, well, first of all, I have to say I'm excited to chat with both of you, and I'm a little nervous. Um, yeah, I was a horse trainer. Um, I trained, I taught lessons, I gave clinics, I traveled around California and taught some clinics, and I focused on relationship building, and I would get troubled horses in for training and to fix, and dressage trainers and a couple of event trainers would bring me horses to, you know, turn around so they could do their discipline. People came to me who bought horses they probably shouldn't have and wanted to go trail riding. And so we would, spend time sorting that out, building relationship and working with the mind and um, working with the horse in a way where the horse was participating. It was a mutual uh, communicative relationship type thing. Um, do you want me to go back even further?
It's up to
um,
you.
so I grew up with horses, and when I was in college, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Um, I wasn't really being emotionally supportive for what I wanted to do, and I was kind of a troubled person. I had had some significant trauma in my past, and so I decided I needed to change my reality because I didn't like where I was. And so I got a job as a flight attendant and I wanted to travel and see the world. And that was my main, I just wanted to really change things up. And I knew that would give me the opportunity to live in other places. I grew up in Texas and I wanted to move away. I wanted to explore and see, other places to go. And so I did that job, and that's actually the only interview I've ever had in my entire life.
Love it.
Was
I can
with the
just
airline.
imagine you just doing that and that.
Oh, we didn't have to do that with American.
Yeah.
I just pressed it. I did the international flights, so I just
Okay.
pressed the video button. Um, and I usually worked in the galleys because I was very shy. And even people I grew up with were like, how did you get that job? Because I was so shy. But it really helped me. It helped me uh, help pull me out of that. And I lived in Boston. I lived in New York. I lived in California, San Francisco area. Um, I lived in France for a while. I lived in Tucson. So I got to travel around, flew all over Europe, all over South America. Um, and that's not a very, it's an unusual job. It's a very free job. You can trade your work schedule around and have a chunk of days off. So that's what I would do. And then take advantage and go travel somewhere. And um, I did a lot of wild camping. Um, I don't know. That was that it was a fun job. I did that for 14 years, I think.
Cool.
And I
Yeah.
actually did it long enough that I could retire. So I still get my flight benefits.
How good is
And
that?
yeah, and I had at the time after I started kind of settling down, I settled in Santa Cruz area and I started getting back into horses and I was riding and then I started riding horses for other people and the very first clinic I took was with a man named Harry Whitney, and that was in 1997, I think. And that was before I didn't really know what a clinic was. Now they're, that's kind of a normal thing. And I was very blessed to be able to have that opportunity at such a young point of my career of watching someone handle horses that way. The first clinic I watched was with Tom Dorrance before he died, and um, so I lived in a cool area where I could go see people like Ray Hunt and those types. So yeah, I had some great influencers, I guess you could say.
And these guys, they sort of met the horses where they were and understood them in a way you hadn't seen before. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tom's was approach was to not get the horse in trouble.
Right.
And yeah, and it was yeah. So then I just slowly started building a business with horse training. And then as circumstances happened, I was able to get buy this place um where I kept my horse and I decided to go for it. And then I couldn't do both. I couldn't fly and do this because,
Mm.
you can't really be away for 3 days a week. And at that time, I couldn't drop trips. And so I decided to retire and do the horses full time. And then I wanted to dedicate my place to be like a sanctuary, not like a horse rescue sanctuary type place, but a place where people felt safe, horses felt safe. And I hosted a lot of different clinics with different clinicians. Harry had Harry out, Peggy Cummings. Um, I'm probably going to forget some people. Um, I learned how to trim hooves, learned how to do saddle fitting, which I still do. I still saddle fit. I enjoy doing that as well. Um, and I brought in different body work, people who did acupressure, chiropractic, acupuncture. Not that we learned chiropractic or acupuncture, that's the whole thing, but they would show us what they did. But the acupuncture, had someone in teach a clinic for that, myofascial release, Feldenkrais, all these different modalities.
Mm. That's
And
so cool.
Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it, but I never really wanted to do any of them, even though I'd learned them.
Mm.
I was like, yeah, I'll just, have the person come do it. And I just wanted to work with the horses and I don't even like to use the word trainer because that never didn't really fit with what I was doing. But um, and then the cranial was a different story though. That really resonated with me, and that I wanted to do. And so I was just doing training horses. So like the day before they had a couple days off, I would do some cranial work. And I didn't know what I was doing. And the classes I learned were okay. It was like, here's the bone, here's the contact type class. And but the changes were pretty remarkable. And at first I was like, is the horse just settling in, or did that work really do something? Because it's very subtle. And then I started really seeing what, this was remarkable, the changes in these horses. And am I babbling? Because I
No,
okay.
this is a free rain webinar. Using the word reins because we're horses. Absolutely.
Okay. I don't want to be blabbing on. Um, so then this was at the very beginning of Facebook, like 2007 or
Oh
something
my
around
God.
there. Yeah.
2007.
Maybe even
And,
earlier.
and I, yeah. And so a woman who was at my ranch, she taught kids lessons and she would help me with online she helped me design a website. And she said, you need to get a Facebook page. And I was like, what is that? And she was like, it's where you go on and you get friends and you talk to them. I was like, but I have friends out here. Why go on the
Yeah, right.
computer? Yeah, it didn't make any sense to me at all. But she helped me set it all
Not sure it
up.
makes much sense to me at the moment.
I
No.
know.
And now look at it. It's mad, isn't
No,
it?
I know.
does it make any sense now?
I know. It's crazy.
I love
Yeah.
that. I have friends. I don't need other friends. What's going on?
I was
Yeah,
like,
those were the
why don't
days,
you?
when we had
Yeah.
actual friends,
Real friends.
real
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah, real friends. I had everybody's phone number memorized. I had like 20
Yeah,
Yeah.
phone numbers memorized in my head.
yeah.
Someone would say, what's so and so's number? And I just blab it out.
Yep. Now, if we don't have this.
I know. I know. I want to go back. Even when I was a flight attendant, that was before cell phones. So
Yeah.
I had, my answer machine and
Mm, brilliant.
there was no calling someone while I was on a layover unless you wanted to pay the long distance fee from
Oh,
Europe.
yes. And when I lived in America, I used to stay in a house that had a Mickey Mouse phone, and he would hold the
Brilliant.
phone handle and I'd have to dial like 50 numbers to get to the UK.
Yeah, and then
Mm.
if you
This
messed up, you
one.
Brilliant.
had to
Oh,
start all
And then the
over.
echo. All you had was the echo.
yeah,
Oh,
that's it.
The echo. And the delay.
No,
yeah.
I love that. I love hearing, how people started and travel's a big thing. I think we all like to travel and see the world, certainly. And Edwina, I think you've got quite a different